Hey guys, I have another book haul for you today. Can you see all those? I got these books from a variety of places like usual. I'm gonna put them down and then I will show you what I all got. Then on that same thrifting, yeah, now she's scratching her chin on the tripod. Okay, are you done? No, that leg too. So if you're new here, my name is Chantel and I've been making bookish videos for about 10 months now. This is like my dream, all the things I love meshing together. I'm so excited that there is a place on YouTube for bookish things. Disclaimer before we get into the books, my dishwasher is finishing up. There's a bit of background noise. I always film after lunch and my dishwasher always has to run, and sometimes this happens. It's kind of annoying, but I'd rather just film and have a little bit of grace with the noise. Okay, like I said, I got these books from a variety of different places. I went thrifting a few times. I got, I think, one from a little free library, and then I got a couple from Book Outlet. I had a little disclaimer about Book Outlet in my last book haul video. If you're curious about that, you can go ahead and watch that. Actually, all the ones that I got from Book Outlet were free. So the way Book Outlet works is there's a referral code. If people place their first order and use your referral code, they get $10 in free books and you get $10 in free books. So every time I get $20, then I place an order and get a bunch of books. And so that happened twice. So I have $40 worth of Book Outlet books that were actually free for me. And Book Outlet is very discounted already. So this is really like 40, let's say $60 plus of free books. And that's American and I'm Canadian, so really it's just even more. Okay, now let's officially get into the books. There's a variety here, like always. This first one is kind of just for our like homeschool shelves. I've been collecting both the Dear Canada books as well as the I Am Canada, which is the boy version, and this is a World War II story. Not even going to try to pronounce the place here, Prisoner of Wherever. The school that I went to is probably like one of the very few schools in Canada that never made you actually learn any French. So I can't pronounce French places or figure out how that's said. Anyway, we have, I think, 3 others of these so far, and this was one that we didn't own, so I wanted to grab it. This will be great for when my son's a little bit older. I think I'm going to make him read all of these. Then on that same thrifting adventure, which actually I went with my 10-year-old daughter, with my mom, and with my 89-year-old grandma. So that was a fun time. I found Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. I have not read very many classics this last year. I think I'm gonna make a goal next year to read more, and the Brontes are some authors I would like to read more from. I wasn't a huge fan of Jane Eyre, but I really enjoyed Wuthering Heights, so I'm excited to have another classic Bronte to add to my shelf. I actually don't know anything about this, so I'm gonna go into this one blind. That's really weird for classics. I feel like I generally have a little bit of an idea. I think Shirley is a man, if I'm right. That's all I know about this though. Or all I think I know. Then I got A Chimney Sweeper's Come to Dust. This is another book, I'm not even sure which number, in the series that is like a Sherlock spin-off where we follow a preteen / young teen girl who's like a chemist and, you know, has all these adventures and mysteries around her. I guess she's 11. And her name is also like French and I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. I read book 1 and I haven't read any more, but I keep collecting the books, so I really need to read more of these. Then I was really excited about this next one because it is Nancy Drew, The Haunted Bridge, number 15. So if you've seen my shelves before, we have almost every single Nancy Drew book. now that we have this one, we only need 6 more. So when I can find one in the thrift stores, actually, they're quite hard to find, at least where I live. I find them hard to find. And then when it's actually one that we don't own, it's even harder. So I got another one checked off the list. I haven't actually read any Nancy Drew since high school. My daughter actually got a huge box of them a few years ago. And so maybe next year that should be another goal, is to actually start reading the Nancy Drew collection that we own. And then I was also really excited about this next one. I think my cat's gonna come here and try to rub on the, no, I thought she was gonna try the tripod. She might yet. Hi. Okay, so right away here, I'm going to be reading Once Upon a River, which has mixed reviews. But I found The 13th Tale at the thrift store. And this one has, yep, now she's scratching her chin on the tripod. Okay, are you done? No, that leg too. She seriously hides away all day, and then as soon as I'm filming, she comes up. Okay, I think she's done. The 13th Tale, I think, has a lot better reviews. People seem to really enjoy this one. I believe this is historical fiction. All children mythologize their birth. So begins the prologue of reclusive author's collection of stories, which are as famous for the mystery of the missing 13th tale as they are for the delight and enchantment of the 12 that do exist. Yeah, I don't know anything about it other than a few people really rave about it. I know Bree from Call Me After Coffee really enjoyed it, and so when I saw it at the thrift store, I had to buy it. Now this next one, I don't know if I would have bought it at a thrift store. Definitely wouldn't have bought it new. But this one I found at a little free library, and I was like, well, you know, it's free. It can't hurt. Probably, unless it's terrible, it might actually hurt. But this is Changeling. Okay, I read Philippa Gregory, is that how you pronounce her name? You guys, we all know I'm terrible at this. I read The Other Bullion Girl a couple years ago as part of a book club. Didn't really enjoy it, but it did educate me a little bit on history, even though I know like there's definitely some things that were changed and there's some guesswork. But anyway, I wanted to try another one of her books. So I actually don't know if this one is historical fiction like her other one is, her like generally what she's known for. So here there's like a guy who's a soldier or something, and there is a 17-year-old who's trapped in a nunnery to prevent her from claiming her rich inheritance. As the nuns in her care are driven mad by having strange visions, walking in their sleep, and showing bleeding wounds, this guy is sent to investigate, and all evidence points to someone's criminal guilt. I'm not really sure. That was just like half of a blurb. So I really don't know anything, but Little Free Library, definitely didn't pick it based off of the cover, but it does have like a really cool looking map on the inside, and I don't know, I'm willing to try it. Then I actually shared this one in my rapid fire questions round 1. This was the last book I purchased at that point, and that's My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologizes. And so I think this is like letters from a grandma, kind of like confessing some of her errors and sins or something. I don't really know. Bachman, I'm not sure how I feel about him. I've enjoyed A Man Called Uva and Every Morning The Way Home Gets Longer and Longer, and then DNF'd Beartown. Not a popular opinion there, but I did. And so I want to try another one and see how this one goes. Then on a separate thrifting adventure, I found like 2 classics that I solely picked up based on the authors. So this first one is Daphne du Maurier's The King's General. I read Rebecca at the beginning of this year and was so disappointed by it. I thought it was gonna be like 4 to 5 stars, and it was like 2.5 to 3. Now that it's set, like it's had time to sit with me though, I really want to reread it because I think I might rate it differently. Anyway, so there's that one, and I know my cousin Rachel is often really popular as well. I've never heard of this one, but I saw it on the shelf and it's like this really cool vintage book that like kind of feels like it's going to fall apart. And I couldn't leave it there for anyone else to snatch up. And then a couple of people have wanted me to read O. Henry, which is a chocolate bar here in Canada. I don't know if it is elsewhere. So every time I hear the name, that's what I think of. This is Heart of the West. Now, I think he is well known for his short stories. These are the Western ones. Probably not going to be my favorite. But once again, thrift store was like $1, maybe $2. Like I can't leave that there. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 stories. So they're all like 10 to 15-ish pages, it looks like. So if I ever have to read like a short story collection or something, this would be a really good one for that. Then my latest book outlet haul, I think most of these were from that one. First of all, a classic, and that's A Christmas Carol. I read this one, I think 2 years ago for the first time. Super short, like kind of want to read this every year, but the edition that I have is not pretty. And I really wanted these chalk editions. I think I have Pippi in this edition. So then now I have this, and then I think there's Peter Pan as well. Oh, they actually have more. They also have Black Beauty and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So even if I have like those books in other copies, I'm just going to keep collecting this edition because I really like them. Then I got night books. This is a middle grade story about a boy who gets trapped in a scary story. I think I heard about this somewhere on BookTube. Someone mentioned it, and I have since seen it elsewhere as well. I don't remember any of the places now. Possibly Anne from Elizabeth Ann Reads brought this to her literary hotel. That might be where I saw it recently. But I don't actually know why I originally picked it up. But I enjoy middle grade, and I also like to proof some for my kids. So I grabbed this one. And then also, speaking of middle grade, there's another one. This one is The Boy, the Bird, and the Coffin Maker. Bree from Call Me After Coffee recently hauled this, and I just loved the cover. And honestly, the title sounds very interesting. So this one is about a coffin maker who, I think like a bird goes into his kitchen. Let's see here. One afternoon, a magical bird flutters into his garden, and Alberto, lonely inside, welcomes it into his home. And when a kind-hearted boy named Tito follows the bird into Alberto's kitchen, a door in the old man's heart cracks open. Tito is lonely too, but he's also scared and searching for a place to hide. So, I don't know, sounds interesting. Beautiful cover. I bought it. Then this was one that came in the box, and I was like, I don't remember ordering that. Then I read the back, and I was like, okay, maybe I did. This is Girl in the Blue Coat. So this is 1943 Amsterdam historical fiction about a girl who is involved in the black market back then, and she spends her nights doing deliveries, and then on a routine delivery, a client asks her for help. It's an old woman who is looking for a Jewish teenager that she had hiding in her house that disappeared. So that actually sounds really interesting, so I'm curious about this one. Then I got The Wish Makers. Someone recommended this for my kids. I don't know if I will read it or if I'll just like pass it on and get them to read it. It looks very fantastical. He's got like some like blue stuff coming out of his peanut butter here. So it's a genie that grants all your wishes. Want to fly? No problem. Want to turn invisible? Done. How about a lifetime supply of sandwiches? Ask and you shall receive. But there are a few catches, which 12-year-old Ace is about to learn the hard way. So, opening a peanut butter jar and releasing a genie named Ridge, He discovers the universe has big plans for him. So, I don't know, it just looks like a silly, fun fantasy book. And then the last book here, also another classic that I already have on my shelf, but I kept seeing this edition on Book Outlet and I was like, no, it's too much, I'm just gonna leave it. And then I broke down, I bought it. And that is Wuthering Heights. This is, I wish it looked nicer. They have a lot of classics in this edition and they I feel like aren't quite as pretty as I would like, but whatever. It was free for me. Wuthering Heights, like I said, is a classic that I enjoyed. I didn't expect to. I don't really enjoy it. I really enjoyed the writing, not necessarily the content. But the book that I have, it was thrifted. The edition that I have, and has like someone's annotations and stuff, which is great. I'm going to keep it, but I kind of wanted like a prettier edition as well on my shelf, so I got this one. And that is all that I have for this haul. So my Book Outlet ones were free, my little free library one was free, and then I spent, I don't know, like maybe $10 between my thrift store adventures getting those other ones. So that was a decent amount of books for $10. I would love to hear like the last book that you bought, or like a really awesome like thrifted book you found recently. Thanks for watching, guys.